I
don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Whoa, Pet the Alligator. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. As always, producer Kate is at the controls, making sure everything is running smoothly. We want to thank you for tuning in and giving us a bit of your time. We understand what a valuable commodity it is, and we know that you could be anywhere else right now, but we are honored that you have decided to be here with us. Before we get into the show, I want to take a moment to ask you to please click the like button. Doing so apparently helps us out in some way, so there's that. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you a thing, but doing so will then allow you to click the bell so you can be notified when we go live or when we drop static videos or shorts or whatever else YouTube will allow us to drop. We are a very interactive show, and we are interested in what you have to say. So if you are watching live, feel free to comment in the live chat box over here on the side. If you are watching via replay, then comment in the comment box below, and we will get back with you. Most importantly, help spread the message by sharing the show with everyone you know. That is the single best thing that you can do for the causes that we talk about and for the show in general. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about this evening. I want to let you guys know right up front, we have a couple of different things that we're going to talk about. And it seems like I go through a period every couple, maybe it's almost like once a quarter. Maybe it's a couple times a year, once a quarter, where I will go through a period where about. And there are so many things going on at once that it's really hard to make a show about one specific topic or one specific area or one specific issue or one specific city or one specific elected official. That would be cool to be able to do that, but we are live 5 nights a week. We already do shows roughly an hour and a half to 2 hours, 2.5 hours a night. And some people say that's too long. You should do shows for 5 minutes. Here's the thing. We always put forward a description to let you know what we're talking about. We always put that in the description on YouTube. It's also shared along with all of the links all over Facebook. You don't have to watch the entire show. We would love for you to watch the entire show. I would love for you to click in from music to music and be done. I understand you cannot do that. As I said a moment ago, your time is a valuable commodity, and I completely understand that. And I want to be respectful of that. At the same time, I am who I am. I am a talker. I am someone that likes to meander along in thought. I will be going from point A to point B, and I will stop off at 5, 6, and the letter Q and a square along the way. It is what it is. So I ask you to bear with me and to do this, and we will do this as a team. Please allow me to talk about what I want to talk about in the way that I want to talk. I will do my very best to give you the topics up front each night and to put a topics list in the description as well as wherever I share the link. And then you can jump along in time along the video if you are not so inclined. I want as many people to watch this live as possible so you can comment over here and we can talk to you, because we are a very interactive show. And I love the idea. There are so many shows out there that do not talk to the audience. That's the reason I don't do static videos. I don't do static videos because of that very thing. I like to talk with you people, but if you don't like my meandering and my bloviating and carrying on, then there is a real simple fix. Watch me after the live show ends, and then you can fast forward along through, and we both win. I get to do the show the way that I do it, and you get to watch only what you're into. And I'm not bitching at you. Please believe me. I love that you're here. I love you if you give me 2 hours. I love you if you give me 5 minutes. I love you if you agree, and I love you if you disagree. Thank you for being here. We are awesome. So I just want to say that. Sometimes I hear this and it's truly the only thing that kind of bothers me sometimes, because I'm like, dude, I can't do it any other way. I am who I am. I've been putting out content now for several years, and I've tried it different ways. It comes out the way that I can do it. So it is what it is. All right, now on with the show. So you all know, tonight's topics are going to be a quick about this for the last 3 nights. Tonight, we are going to talk about a quick update to the Greenlight Resources LLC update situation. We don't have a lot to add, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Greenlight Resources. Then we're going to move on to the amazingly big article in question. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Star Press finally got with it and wrote an article about an event that happened nearly 2 months ago. And by that, ladies and gentlemen, I mean we will be talking about the Star Press article about the 2024 DCRD, the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission mailer. That is a quasi-campaign mailer, and there's a lot of questions there. So we will be talking about that. That's exactly what Tweety Bird is talking about there. And if you're interested in hearing about my commentary about that article, Tweety Bird, stick around, because we're going to be talking about that. That's actually going to be our second topic tonight. From there, people from Henry County, we're going to do some Sproles material, Sproles Watch. 2024 Sproles Watch. We're going to talk about Sproles' temper tantrums. I'm going to talk about a post that he put out sometime in the last day or two. And everybody in Henry County has been going crazy about this thing. I'm going to talk about a paid advert that was put in the Henry County Courier-Times. Absolutely insane. We're going to talk about other officials' temper tantrums and or candidates. And then I'm going to maybe talk a little bit about those folks needing to know their role. And then from there, we're going to talk about the article that was in the paper from the perspective of the prosecutor of Delaware County, talking basically to the sheriff's department about the possibility of the young deputy who was involved in the pursuit that resulted in a fatality being charged with criminal charges in Delaware County. So we're going to talk about that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap the show up talking about the city of Muncie once again being as transparent as mud. So we've got a lot to get to, and we will start right away with the Greenlight Resources update. All right. Basically, the only thing that I have to tell you guys about this is I managed to, number one, get really lucky today. A source of mine was able to dig up an email address and a phone number of folks that were connected, are still connected, was connected. I don't know where the LLC lies. I don't know if it's busted up. I don't know if it's still doing work. I tend to think that it's probably in a million pieces now, and they're not really doing much. But I have a contact number and an email address to Morgan Warden, and I've sent out an email to Morgan today, and I told Morgan that I was interested in speaking to her about Greenlight Resources. And I want to look here just briefly to see if I received anything back. Give me 1 second and I will look to see if I did. No. As of now, I did not receive anything. So basically, just to give you guys a heads up, part of the update, I will let you know. At about 10:26 this morning, I sent the email that says, "Hello, Morgan. I'm reaching out to you as the contact for Greenlight Resources. I have a couple of questions. Can you please respond to me here at this email address or give me a call?" I gave my cell phone number, and then I said, "at your earliest convenience." So I have done that, and we will see. I also made a phone call to that number, and we will wait to see if she calls me back. I was not able to leave a message, so that is what it is. Yeah, doesn't it, Ejac? It does. It sounds like something from Squid Games. It's right. It's so weird. It's like, I feel like at any moment it's going to be like, Greenlight Resources is people. Soylent Green. Toilet Greenlight Resources. Also, in the strange but true column, and also in the column that fits along with the Greenlight Resources update, I do have another thing to show you. Stand by 1 second. And I will show you guys. This is such a weird deal. I actually have to get on my case to be able to show this to you. I should have had this pulled up, being all professional and everything, but I did not. So give me just 1 second here as I type this into. Okay, we'll do this. Clark. Okay. And we'll do it like this. Share my case. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, here is my case. Very strange situation. I want you guys to look at this. This is a weird situation. We're gonna increase this by a little bit more so you guys can see it here. It says Dustin Clark. Okay, that's who Dustin Clark is. Versus Ricky Spears. Ricky Spears, all unknown residents. 18C04 2404 EV. It's an eviction. 550. It's out of Delaware County Circuit Court 4. It's an evictions. Dustin Clark is the petitioner, and the respondent is Ricky Spears. Okay. We've got this here. It's a chronological case summary. It was filed on April 23rd. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just last week. This was just filed last week. But why does this matter? Why does it matter if Dustin Clark is filing for a eviction on Ricky Spears? Well, let me tell you why it matters, okay? It matters because he is trying to evict him from the property Let me pull this up here. He is trying to evict him from the property that Greenlight Resources is listed at. Okay. That's what's very interesting about this. If you go here and you click, we're going to go up here and click on Ricky right here. 2432 South Hoyt, 2432 South Hoyt. Okay. Now, what's funny is when you click on this and you click on Dustin Clark, he's got a confidential address. Now, why this turd would have a confidential address, I've got no clue. Like, this guy does not need a confidential address. He's not a police officer. He's nobody. I mean, you know, maybe he's got a confidential address because he doesn't want the, he doesn't want, like, the police to know where he's at or something. I can't figure out why this guy would have a confidential address. It is absolutely insane to me. Just completely crazy. Okay. I want to show you this here. I'm going to click on this order of rule to show cause. I'm going to click on this. It's going to take me off the screen for just a second. And I want to show you this. Just stand by here as we pull this. Okay. So I'm going to share this with you now too. And this, I'm going to make sure that it's in your screen here and you can see it. And I'm going to blow this up here so you can see it. So what this is the court has asked Dustin Clark for some information. State of Indiana, Delaware County, Dustin Clark in Circuit Court 4 versus Ricky Spears, and he's listed that address, okay? It says, the court, having received and examined the evidence on plaintiff's affidavit for possession in the above captioned matter, now directs the defendant, Ricky Spears, and another name, to appear for the purpose of controverting the plaintiff's affidavit or to otherwise show cause why he or she should not be taken from the property and plaintiff put in possession. So they're going to allow Ricky Spears to say, hey, this is why we shouldn't, like we've been paying all along, or yada, yada, yada. Okay, I don't know. Now, listen, here's the deal. I don't like anybody being thrown out of their house. I don't like people having hard times and not being able to pay. I also don't like the fact that people don't pay. I don't know what's going on here. I have no clue. I don't know what's happening. I hate this is happening, and I don't like the fact that this is going on. However, the only reason that this matters and the only reason that I bring this up, ladies and gentlemen, is it's quite interesting that right now, in the midst of all of this insanity, when one of the big questions is, where is Greenlight Resources at? Is it a place that we can physically go to? What goes on there? Who is employed there? How do they work? What do they do? How do they get paid? All of those questions One of the things that's most interesting is when you look them up through the Indiana Secretary of State's office and you look up Green Light Resources, it gives you an address of 2432 South Hoyt. Well, great. But right here on this piece of paper, we see 2432 South Hoyt is a home that Dustin Clark is trying to kick somebody out of. The craziest thing about this is in order to do this, Dustin Clark has to own the property. And as we know, by going to Beacon in Delaware County, he doesn't own it. We know that. We have it right here in the information that we've talked about for a couple different days now. Harold and Karen McCall own the 2432 South Hoyt. Now, the only issue with that is Harold McCall is deceased. So, I don't know how they connect with Dustin. I don't know what the situation is. Dustin Clark is not listed as the owner, so I don't know how he's connected to the property. You can bet your butt that I will be in the eviction hearing come May 30th, 2024 at 11 a.m. because I want to find out just what on earth gives Dustin Clark the ability to kick these people out of this house. How does he own this? What's the deal? Why does he not have an attorney for this? It's interesting that he's the big man about town, but he's doing this pro se. So very, very strange. Besides that, I have no other information. The city of Muncie has not released any records to me yet. They've still been dragging their feet along those lines. The Visitors Bureau still has at least a batch, if not two more batches of records that they need to provide me. They did not provide me the invoices today as I was thinking that I was going to get, but they got busy. I talked to their counsel just a little bit ago, and I found out that, it was just a busy day today. I get it. From my perspective, the Muncie Visitors Bureau is doing literally everything that they can do, and they're being very helpful. So I've got nothing to gripe about there. So just FYI, that is what's going on. And when we get those records, of course, we will bring them to you. That's all of the rest of the update I have on this. The last thing I want to say before we move on to the next topic is there's a lot of rumors going around about this. Okay, there are a lot of rumors that are flying. People are saying Dustin was arrested, Michelle's been arrested, they've been taken to custody, they're in yada yada yada. Listen, don't buy into the rumors. We have to deal in fact. All right, we can talk about opinions, and opinions are big here. But keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I base my opinions on factual information, digging, having sources that are close to various aspects of various things. And so it's something I've been doing for a long time. I don't just get a phone call and hear someone say, oh, this happened, and just run with it. I've been told by several people that Dustin has been arrested. And I'm telling you, as of 9:30 tonight, while I sit here on live camera, Dustin Clark has not been arrested by any police agency in connection with this. Now, has he been interviewed by the police? I don't know. I have not been able to confirm that. I can confirm without a shadow of a doubt, the Indiana State Police are investigating this. To what end are they investigating this? Who are they investigating this for? I have no clue. But the state police are investigating. The FBI is now watching and looking. FBI, if you're watching, give me a holler. I'll talk to you about this. I'll let you know what I know. We can trade notes. But that's where we are. So the moment that I know more information, ladies and gentlemen, you too will know more. All right. Now, the moment everybody in Delaware County has been looking for, and we'll get there in just 1 second. Tweety Bird, look under property taxes. The property is owned by Karen and co of Donald Knatzer. Okay. I will look in that, Tweety Bird, and I will shoot you an email maybe later, and we might bring up information about that on another show, but I will look into that. And thank you very much. I think one of my team members have looked into that. I just haven't actually looked at that myself yet. So thank you for that information, though. So I appreciate that. All right. Now, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission mailer. So this is a big thing. For those of you that don't know, the Delaware County Reporter that we've all come to know and love, David Pinnicuff, I think he's the only person there. I don't count Doug Walker. I'm not a fan of Doug Walker. Doug Walker is a turd, and it is what it is. So I will stand behind that. I wasn't a fan of Keith Roizen. Keith Roizen's a turd. I'm not a fan of Doug Walker. Doug Walker's a turd. It is what it is. It's just, I'm sure, hey, look, they don't like me either. So it's, no big deal. It is what it is. All right. That being said, David Pinnicuff retired. However, he is going to remain as some kind of a freelance writer with the Star Press. Now, I purposefully have not read this article. I'm going to read it to you live on air for the first time right tonight, and we're going to see it, and we're going to experience the joy and or the insanity of this article together. All right. It sounds like some of you have read this and are not happy with it. So we don't know. I don't know how it's going to turn. We'll have to find out what goes on and which side of which argument all of you are. Only one S there, man. When you say Chris's with two S's, you know better than that. It makes it look like there's dozens of Chris's. There's only one, and it's just me. But yeah. All right, here we go. This is the are we going to hear an article from a real Alva? I love it. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Taxpayer-funded mailer promotes county economic development work and GOP candidates. All right, so, man, right there, just that alone, that title is wild. Taxpayer-funded mailer promotes county economic development work, ... and GOP candidates. Man, if you just read that headline alone, that should be enough for you to be over the moon pissed. All right. David Pinnicuff for the Star Press, because he's now a contributing freelance writer, published at 5:22 a.m. on May the 1st, 2024. Dateline, Muncie, Indiana. The Delaware County Redevelopment Commission paid for a promotional mailer sent to 35,000 homes in the county, boasting about economic development work by county commissioners and County Economic Development Director Brad Bookout. Taxpayers footed the bill for the flyer, while two of the three commissioners and Bookout campaign as candidates in the upcoming GOP primary. We want people to know what we're doing, said James King, someone who absolutely hates transparency. Keep in mind, he's actually said that. I'm tired of this transparency shit or stuff and people talking to me and communication and pissing and bitching and moaning. Those are all things he said. Shannon Henry said some of them too. It's wild. All right, James King, president of the commissioners, who is running for re-election and is opposed on the Republican ballot this spring. King told the Star Press that people complaining about the mailer had a vendetta against him. I'm surprised he could even say the word vendetta. And it was like paid articles about the city that appeared in a Muncie magazine. Well, Dan did it, and if Dan's doing it, it should be okay if I do it. The plan, he said, was for different flyers to be mailed out by the commission quarterly. Ooh. Now, here is what it looks like right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And it goes on to say, on March 28th, Delaware County Sheriff Tony Skinner, who is supporting King's opponent in the primary, took to social media to criticize the piece of mail. And Skinner says, a fluff piece touting the accomplishments of the county commissioners and Brad Bookout, all paid for by the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission with your tax dollars. And Tony's right. I don't remember ever receiving something like this before. Now, so many people have been like, what do you mean? We get mailers all the time. Listen, Tony's not saying he's never received a campaign mailer. He is saying he has never received a campaign mailer that has been paid for by tax dollars before. That is not something that should be happening. All right? It goes on and says, that's because I don't think it's ever happened, at least not in my career. Is it illegal? I'm not sure. Is it unethical? 100% yes. A taxpayer-funded pseudo-campaign advertisement mailed a week and a half before early voting begins is extremely unethical. And that's where we talk, ladies and gentlemen, about the difference between legal and illegal corruption, okay? Hard and soft corruption. Keep in mind, those are all words that you need to be aware of, all right? King made a failed run against Skinner in the Republican primary in 2022. It's inappropriate, self-promoting use of our tax dollars, said Matt Kantz, a Republican 3rd District County Councilman who is not up for re-election this year. 3 GOP nominations for at-large seat on the council are contested in the May primary. Bookout, who is running for one of those seats in the primary, did not return repeated phone messages seeking comments. So, ladies and gentlemen, when Mr. Bookout is saying, please elect me, I want to be on the council, you have to understand, people will govern like they campaign. So, this is a hot topic right now. You might believe it, you might not believe it, whatever. If Bookout is not willing to communicate with the newspaper, if he won't answer his phone to me, if he won't answer his phone to a citizen, if he will not communicate as a candidate, he will not do that as an elected official. I can guarantee it. So keep that in your mind. The fact that he did not respond to Pinnacuff for this article, shame on Mr. Bookout. Redevelopment Commission member Amber Green, who is also a Republican at-large county council candidate, said that she was planning to ask Bookout, who also serves as the executive director of the Redevelopment Commission, about how the mailer came to be during the commission's regular April 11th meeting. However, on April 9th, amazingly, just like magic, Bookout sent notice to Green that the meeting was canceled due to an anticipated lack of a quorum. The next regular meeting is now May 9th, 2 days after the election. I mean, folks, listen, they don't even need to draw you a picture. You should just be able to understand what they're doing. Okay? This is not how this is supposed to work. Featured prominently in the March mailer is James King, who was also a member of the Redevelopment Commission in 2023, but he's no longer a member of the commission. Now he just sits in the audience and barks out things as he feels the need. He said last year that the Redevelopment Commission approached Muncie Magazine, but were concerned about the cost the magazine had, and about the cost, and that the magazine had Muncie and not Delaware County in its title, because these idiots that are in control of the city and the county don't recognize that we all are a part of one entity, and who cares about something that minute? That's stupid. The Star Press also doesn't have Delaware County in the title either, right? Later in the year, at the November 2nd Redevelopment Commission meeting, King told fellow commission members that he wanted to communicate directly with the county residents about the work being done by the commission, like information the city of Muncie had been detailing for the public about local projects. And listen, when Dan was doing this as he was running for office, I too called that shit out as wrong. All right? Just, it is what it is. According to a video recording, King said the meeting that he was thinking of a flyer or a booklet to let people know about redevelopment commission projects, and specifically mentioned trails and local roads that have been paved with money from the redevelopment commission. But the mailer sent in March made no mention of trails or paving. King later told the Star Press that the topic for the first mailer was jobs and economic development, and other mailers would have other topics. Red Elephant Digital Media made a proposal to develop a mailer that estimated the cost of sending out 35,000 flyers at a whopping $12,800. The proposal was prepared by none other than Victor Whitehead of Red Elephant. Whitehead is the former chairman of the Republican Party of Delaware County. Amazing how these people all just fit in like a glove. You know what I mean? Commission member Angela Moyer, who does exactly what her bosses tell her to do, who works as a project director for the county engineering department, made a motion to have James and Brad move forward with the Red Elephant on the mailer. There was not a vote during the meeting on a specific plan for the content of the communication, nor about the amount of money to be spent. Matter of fact, well, I'll read this. The County Redevelopment Commission draws money through tax incentive increments financing districts in the county. Matter of fact, there was no vote past this. After this, there was never a vote. Green, who was not a member of the commission in November, and Kantz both say that minutes from the meetings never show a vote was taken to approve a proposal. Ladies and gentlemen, we've went through those very meetings on this program. There is no vote. There's no vote.
I'm pretty sure that David just watched your show and took notes.
I know.
To write the article. I hope we get some credit at the end.
I think it's going to credit us. I'll read it for him. In a March mailer touting the county's economic development work began appearing in mailboxes around the county carrying a return address to the Redevelopment Commission, which is just insane. The mailer produced features a large photo of King, who is running for re-election against Republican challenger Stephen Brand, and Commissioner Shannon Henry, who is not up for re-election this year. The men are posing with officials from Italian firms approached about expanding to Delaware County. Below them is a headline that reads, Delaware County Commissioners sign agreements with 3 Italian companies. The same side of the postcard carries another headline that says, County Commissioners emphasize the significance of diversifying the local economy, moving away from reliance on a few industries. One small photo includes book out in a group shot of officials. Another small photo includes County Commissioner Sherry Riggin, who is also running for re-election as a commissioner this year. Okay. Riggin said she heard there was going to be a mailer sent, but she was not involved in its creation, nor was she shown the item before it went into the mail. And that's basically, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why she should not be reelected, because she is on autopilot. She's not involved with anything. They don't show her anything. I'm surprised she gave an interview for this. Delaware County citizens, for the love of God, do not re-elect people that don't do things for you. Sherry Riggin needs to go. Thank you for your service. Here's the key to the city, key to the county, key to your house. Go there, stay there, don't come back. Thank you. It's disappointing, she said of the mailer. If the taxpayers paid for it, the money should be refunded. Now, I do like that. But what I want to know is, why has she never said a statement like that? This thing came out on March 28th. It's now May 1st, and I have never heard Sherry Riggins say word one about this. She's got social media. She's been through 1 or 2 or 3 different meetings. Why has she never said those words in front of James and in front of Shannon and in front of Bookout and in front of the puppet master, John Brooke? She needs to say this in a meeting. It's disappointing. If taxpayers paid for it, the money should be refunded. Bam! The backside of the mailer features a collage of positive economic development headlines for Delaware County and color blocks with a reverse type that says, in the 4 years, 900 new jobs have been created, $450 million in capital investments, and $40,000 average pay for new jobs. Now, that's interesting because it says 900 new jobs here. First of all, I would like to see that. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But James King, Mike Jones, and a few others have been saying thousands of jobs. So, I don't understand if they don't know the difference between 900 and thousands, but I want to know which one's true. This mailer that shouldn't have came out, or the other nonsense that shouldn't come out because it's a lie. Thousands. Underneath that is a list of 16 companies that the mailer says have been actively investing in the county over the last 4 years. To the far right side of the mailer, a cutout photo of Fabio Vito, a president of Vitec, an Italian Vitechnic, an Italian company that announced plans in November to occupy a 15,000 square foot facility in the Muncie Industria Center, along with a quote, "We looked at many locations in the Midwest before choosing to visit Delaware County. Once there, the reception and relation was developed with Brad Bookout. Helping to us advance our plans was second to none. In addition, we are happy to be in the area with a strong presence of other Italian firms." I love Italian food, man. Above it is a double headline that says, "Fueling growth, county commissioners are strengthening Delaware County's future through job creation and investments." The text makes no mention of the Redevelopment Commission. It only lists it as a return address. King said it should have included the commission. All right, so King has admitted that it was a screw up. Bing, bang, boom, bang, pow. All right. Kantz said that the work was not necessarily illegal, but it was inappropriate. Definitely inappropriate.
It's wrong, but you can't be prosecuted for it.
But you can't send me to jail for it, so fuck it.
Yeah, right. It's okay. I'm good.
The IRS, however, may have something to say about it.
Absolutely. Well, even more so because, like I said, and like we've been saying, it's also tied back to a nonprofit, which is a big no-no. So, you've got that. King said there are people running for county council this year, but seem to be running against him while he's running for county commissioner. There's a certain group out there who want to attack James King. Yeah, it's called the Citizens of Delaware County. It's called everybody in Delaware County that's sick of your crap. That's how it works. When the people of the community are tired of you, King, they want to run you out with pitchforks and fire. That's how it works, bro. All right. Now, I've been off the page for a minute. I want to come back to you all, and I want to talk to you guys about all of this and see what you all think. You know what's funny about this to me? You know what's going on in the Republican Party right now? The Republican Party is being led by 3 Democrats and 2 has-beens that live 8,000 miles away, 4,000 miles, 1,000 miles away. I don't know where they live. 8,000 miles might be somewhere crazy. The Delaware County Republican Party is being led by 3 Democrats and 2 has-beens from Florida. Why? Do we not have people here that can run the party? Listen, I for one say put the sheriff in charge of the party. When he quits being sheriff, put Tony Skinner in charge of the party. I'm down for that. There is no Republican Party in Delaware County. No, that's true too. Not Republican in the sense of the Republican, what the Republican should be. There's a Republican Party, but it is a joke. It is an absolute joke. All right. How much money are they making off that deal? Promises made, not kept. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, wait, I want to see. There are a couple people that have said something. Now, did we run Tweety Bird off? Because I know that Tweety Bird and I don't share the same political beliefs, but I don't want Tweety Bird to run. I want Tweety Bird to come out here. Now, is there things on here? If you listen, you're free to say what you want to say here. You can disagree with me. We're not going to fight you on it. I might push back against it, but I welcome your diversified comments. Oh, I'm here. Ha. So you said that you were mad about this article, did you not? What was your thought on this article? You said that. Well, what was your thought of this article? I'm interested to know what your thought was. It's 1992 Democrat playbook, and now you know where they got it. Listen, that is absolutely the truth. It's complicated. Okay, well, okay, Tweety Bird, I understand that. So if it might be better if when you get a chance, if you don't want to type it all out now, if you want to tell me in private, if you want to email me or message me on Facebook, you're okay to do that. If you don't want to do it out in public, I understand that, and it might be too hard to do it now. Plus, I got to get ready to move on to another topic. But I'm interested in your thoughts. I just don't want you to think that I don't care. I'm interested in other people's thoughts on this, you know. And I'm interested in the big take on this side. It'll be interesting to see. Listen, to hell with the election. I'm interested to know what the redevelopment commission is going to have to meet one day. They might be able to keep pushing it off, but one of these days they're going to have to put their butts back in those seats. And when they do, there are going to be people that are going to be questioning them. What the hell's going on? Okay. The family, no different than the mob. That's exactly right. Here it is. This is the Republican Party right here. The Delaware County Republican Party. The family. Why do you think they've been going over to Italy? It's very mafia organized. Hey, I want to talk to you about. You know, don't make me get my brother on him. My brother lives in Sicily right now. He's learning all kinds of crazy mafioso type nonsense. Someone needs to tell Mike Jones. Mike Jones is afraid. I think Mike Jones, we're done with Mike Jones. Mike Jones was going to be a voice of nothingness. He's gone for the next 5 days. We won't hear from him. He's done. They realize they are up a creek. Thank you, GW Plays. I am one of the few people that actually care about the community. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Us against them as they launder our tax dollars. Okay. So from there, ladies and gentlemen, it's now on to the Henry County Sproles news. Now, don't go anywhere, City of Muncie people, because as soon as we get done with this, we are going to hop back into a story from Muncie, and it's a biggie, so don't go anywhere. But we do have to do some always very important Sproles Watch news. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. As I posted on social media earlier today, kids are always just so funny, so cute. Now, listen, he's going to be like, listen, I told you this guy's a child molester. So I looked around just on the internet, Sproles, you idiot, to find some pictures of toddlers. This is what I did. I'm just show you. It's real simple. It's harmless. I picked up my phone and I went to Google and I said, show me pictures of toddlers throwing temper tantrums. Now, I want to show you what the first top 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to show you the top results. Here was result 1. Temper tantrum here from this little girl. Here was another result. Here's this little boy laying on the ground, kicking and crying and carrying on. Yep, we've seen that. Here's this little girl throwing a temper tantrum. You know, we've all seen that before, just yelling and doing the scream. And look how, sometimes they're like crying themselves to sleep. They're so tired. And she's like, I'm not tired. And then here, this was really strange. This shows you these two pictures are basically identical. Toddlers and their temper tantrums. Now, I heard somebody tell me, and I don't know who it was, but I heard someone tell me that John Sproles is one of these pictures, but I don't know which one he is. He's either on the left or he's on the right, but I'm not really sure which one exactly he is. So
Alba seems to think that the top 4 of your Google search were all Sproles.
It was all Sproles. Yeah, that's a very good possibility that it was actually all Sproles. That is very possible. Okay. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so all right. What is this? Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay. Now I have something here that whoops. Okay, let me get out of here. What is going on? How did this happen?
Audie.
What's he saying?
I Googled Sproles, and those are the same pictures that came up.
Yeah, right. 2, 3, 4, 9. Okay, so this is now what I need to do. Okay, here we go. I see it here. So I'm going to send. Oh no! All right. I'm going to do it this way, Kate. Crash. We've got 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 9. Oh, 6 to 10. Okay. So I'm going to, Kate, I'm going to send you in there. I'm going to send 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Messenger. I just sent you 4 pictures. When you get a second, can you put them in the overlay? If you get a second, please and thank you. And I'm going to try. I hope they will show up there. If they don't, I have another way to do it. But I think that this will work. I'm going to hope that they do. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this Sproles topic is really coming off the fact that, first of all, listen, we all know who Sproles is. We've dealt with him. He's an insane person. He has a hard time hearing the word no. He does not like it when something does not go his way. And he just does not deal with things properly. Sometimes I question if he's an adult. Sometimes I question if he's got some kind of illness. I don't know what the deal is with him. I honestly don't. But he made a post today that got shared with me, and it went around Henry County. And literally every person in Henry County is talking about this. And I am going to tell you guys, this makes him seem like he is insane. I'm not a doctor. I'm not making any kind of medical call on this guy. I'm just telling you, this does not seem like a normal human being. He made this post. John Sproles, Henry County Sheriff, 10 important... It's comical to me that he says facts. I wish he would have wrote 10 important opinions. Please consider the following facts when voting for Henry County commissioners. Number 1, while attending my first official commissioners meeting as the newly elected sheriff, a commissioner approached me immediately afterwards and in a very stern and direct manner stated something to the effect of, "Don't you ever just get up here in a public meeting and say whatever you want to say without emailing me first." Now, number 1, John Sproles, you, sir, are an effing liar. That didn't happen. Period. That didn't happen. That did not happen. The citizens of Henry County have watched you berate Bobby, berate Steve Dellinger, and act like a total jackass to the auditor's office, I'm sure the clerk's office, and everybody in between. That comment didn't happen. And I'm going to say the same thing to you now that I said to you when you were on the Boss Hogs of Liberty back in October of 2022. Where's the proof? You could literally say any damn thing you wanted, and you expect someone to believe you because you got a brown shirt on. I just don't buy it. All right. You go on to say, shortly after that, another commissioner approached me and said something to the effect of, you are going to renew my special deputy police powers, correct? Listen, so you want me to believe in your very first meeting you were accosted by Bobby and Steve and they said this just massive nonsense? Let me tell you, that didn't happen. There was no issue at the first meeting. Let me tell you what happened. Shortly after you took office as sheriff, you made an expenditures for mirrors, you egomaniac, and you got your little pee-pee smacked for it, and it embarrassed you, so you come up with this nonsensical story, and that, sir, is what happened to you. This farce that you've listed here in number 1, dude, get a hold of yourself. Nobody buys that shit. You put out information about Landon Dean and didn't bring any evidence. And I told the public back then, you guys need to be really scared because this guy's willing to say things without any evidence. Listen, he's literally going around and telling people that I'm a child molester. You know how scary that is? You know how absolute freaking nuts that is? What kind of damage to a reputation that could uphold? Now, listen, I don't do anything because I know that Sproles is a complete idiot, and I know that people take it from where it's coming from. And I'll be honest, the people who believe it and the people that he's able to snow with that, they're not people that I give a shit about. I don't care anything about them, and I don't want them in my life. And better yet, if they just stay away from me, we'll be all good. I'm fine with that. All right. Moving on. Number 2. I did not email the commissioners to get permission on what topics I was allowed to speak on, and I did not renew the other commissioners' special deputy police powers. Okay, so number 2 is just, like, honestly, number 1 didn't happen, so number 2 didn't happen. You know what I mean? Problem solved. All right? Onward to number 3. In a following commissioners meeting, I asked for a certain amount of money from commissioners controlled ARP funds for much needed safer vehicles for our deputies. The commissioner said no. I don't think they've told him no really on anything. They've tried to have a conversation with him.
Lie.
Yeah, I'm glad. Okay, good. I'm glad you said that.
They negotiated with him to get him the funding that he wanted for the stupid number of vehicles he requested.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That's exactly
a damned
correct.
lie.
It is. You're right. You're right. There was a negotiation that went back and forth. See, here's what he's counting on, folks. He's counting on the fact that very few people watch the commissioners and the council meetings. So he's counting on the fact that people can just listen to what he's saying, and he's the sheriff, and by God, you owe him a level of respect, and you're going to believe him, and that's it, and that's that.
That's a fantastic episode here on the Political Spotlight. Brandon covered that budget work meeting. It was 2 hours that he was up there, and Brandon managed to get through the whole thing in a decent amount of time. It was really well done. He did a great breakdown and analysis. So if you're interested, that's on this channel. And you can see for yourself that the man is full of shit.
Absolutely. You can go back and watch that. All you got to do is you go to the Sheriff Sproles playlist, and it's right there, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it. Brando covered it wonderfully. It was fantastic. All right, moving on. Furthermore, the commissioners actually assisted in getting our actual budget cut to the point we only had enough budget money to outright purchase 1 new patrol vehicle for 2024. It's generally agreed on and understood that we actually need to purchase 7 new patrol vehicles a year to keep our deputies in safe and reliable vehicles. All right. Listen, I don't know how many different scenarios these people had figured out to help get him new cars. But it was new cars in a lease, or it was new car. It was like, 4 new cars and not. He's like, I need 12 new cars now. And they're like, well, we can't do 12, but we'll get you 4. And he's like, nope. If I don't get 12, I don't want none. All right, wait a minute. You need 12 cars. We cannot get you 12 cars, but we will get you 4. But you're telling me that if you don't get 12, you will not take 4? He was a baby about this stuff. This is why it comes down to the fact that he just can't be told no. If you tell him no, you're an enemy of Sproles, period. You cannot tell him no. He's the sheriff, and that means everything. I think he forgets the fact that he's a cop only means something if you're breaking the law. If you're not breaking the law, I can tell him where he can put that badge. All right? And where he can stick those police power of his. If you're not breaking the law and he's not arresting you, he means exactly dick. There's nothing about it, nothing to it. He gets no more respect because he's a sheriff than anybody else for being a mailman or being a street superintendent, or being the guy flipping your burger at Walmart or Wendy's. You know what I mean? He's insane. He's insane. All right. Number 4, at another commissioner meeting, our chief deputy asked for fitness equipment for our fitness room in our new sheriff's office so our deputies can stay in good physical shape. And the commissioner said no, even though plenty of money was sitting in a bond to be used for the precise purpose of furnishing the building. The money is still sitting in the bond. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we watched that meeting right here live. We watched it. And it wasn't the chief deputy. It was the chief deputy and some young punk all going in there all juiced up and jacked up because Sproles teaches them how to go through life demanding what you want. If you want it, say it. You can get it. Visualize it. Like, he seems like one of those guys. You know what I mean? Take what you want. Raw alpha male. All right. Here's what happened. They went in there and they completely act like assholes. I'm too good to use the junk we got now. It's like the cringy videos of the kids whose parents goes and buys them a vehicle for Christmas, and they go outside and the kid goes crazy and like dents the car in and keys it and it's like, I didn't want that. I wanted a Ferrari, so I'm not driving that. And it's like, how cringy is this? Get off work and go to the Y, dude. Who are you? You're a cop? Relax, bro. There's only 3 of you work out anyways. The rest of you are sitting down at Jack's Donuts. So come off of it. They said no, and they weren't just letting them go crazy because they just spent a shit ton of money on mirrors that Sproles wanted that he didn't get approval for. And he just went ahead and did it without going through the steps. The money here, ladies and gentlemen, is set in there in case they need to do serious things, not buy some dumbbells for some dumbbells. And yes, my apologies to Wendy's. All right.
They just built a brand new pod, right?
Right.
There's a good chance that there's going to be a lot of big expenses to come up because of that new build.
Not a new pod, a brand new jail. They
jail.
built a new jail, and now they're wanting a new pod. Yes, but yeah, you're right.
So
you're right.
That money is for expansion and all this other stuff, not for some stinking dumbbells. They can get free gym memberships because they're cops.
Absolutely.
Eric Lewis, thank you, Admiral. I found 3 different gyms that offer them free memberships.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's just insane. All right, number 5. A current commissioner has personally met with an architectural firm to discuss beginning a new mega million-dollar jail addition. That commissioner has said high-impact projects are the most visible and exciting versus the day-to-day items we address. These commissioners have never even asked me if we need a new jail addition. In fact, these commissioners have not had an amicable conversation with me since the one lost his special deputy police powers on January 1st, 2023. That is such horseshit, ladies and gentlemen. Sproles is such a liar. He's out of control. He's a flippin' idiot. First of all, that thing didn't happen with the deputy. This kind of stuff is not real. He's an idiot. I don't know how else to say it. They have not had an amicable relationship or conversation with Sproles because Sproles doesn't have them with them. He goes in and he turns himself purple and sits in the audience and looks like he's getting ready to do harm to people. He's a freak, man. First of all, Sproles, the commissioners don't have to come to you to do their damn jobs. The buildings fall under the commissioner's purview. Now, yes, they should talk with the sheriff when they're getting ready to do shit with the jail or whatever. But just talking and getting information, dude, you have forgot yourself. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you need to forget yourself. Forget you, Sproles. Like, you know, practice leading the sheriff's department before you start leading the commissioners and everybody else, all right?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Who's the executive branch in county government, please?
It's the sheriff. Oh no, wait. It's the commissioners.
Oh, it's the commissioners. So they're the ones that are kind of overseeing everything and making sure things are implemented and writing ordinances and laws and dealing with upkeep of buildings and streets, correct?
Yep.
So technically they're the overseers of all the other elected officials in a kind of way.
Yeah, I don't particularly like saying that because they're not over anybody.
No.
But they're not over the sheriff, but the sheriff sure as hell's not over them. You know, so it's like a stalemate.
There's a separation of powers here.
Ding, 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 ding. Yep.
And so neither one can tell the other one what to do.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's
thank
weird
you for
how
explaining that to me. Yeah. Sometimes I get a little confused. I thought maybe I had gotten something wrong there.
Yeah, I get it. It's easy to do. I get it. This next line here is probably my most favorite thing in his entire in this entire manifesto that he's written. He says, "Oops, I don't know what we've done." This next line is, in case you're wondering, I personally believe." Wait a minute. In case you're wondering, no, we weren't wondering. So save yourself from telling us. We weren't wondering this, Sproles, but you're going to tell us anyways? Okay, bro. In case you were wondering, I personally believe we need to focus on the day-to-day items which are not the most visible and exciting, but are the most practical and affordable. Well, how about you quit doing every damned thing that you can do to get the insurance to be dropped and to get the insurance raised and to do all this chaos and insanity? How about you do that then? How about you work on not getting the county into a very bad predicament? Why don't you do that? All right.
What predicament is that?
The predicament of being a shithead with no insurance.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, and about practical and affordable. Didn't he change the medical care and now it's going to cost him an arm and a leg extra now?
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't know the meaning of practical and affordable. He wouldn't know that. He wouldn't know the meaning of that if it bit him in the head. He wouldn't know. I mean, he doesn't have a clue, man. Listen, yeah, right. Remember when he went to the commissioners meeting? I was actually there in person not long ago when he wanted to buy a $12,000 table. What? How many of those special deputies got the county civil torts? Oh, listen, Ejac, there might have been one or two somewhere down the line, but I mean, not. I'll put it to you like this. None of them have put the county in as bad a position as Sproul has put the county in. Let's just say that. Okay, that's very important. So he goes on to say that we need to focus on helping our inmates rehabilitate and get back to their feet. You know, he's letting you know that he's a wonderful, godly man. You know, we need to focus on the good. You know, we instead of spending millions of dollars on jail additions, so we can just incarcerate more people, which would in turn cause our jail upkeep costs, food, medical staffing, maintenance to jump several more $1 million every year. Well, listen, one of the things you could do is start writing tickets, arrest and release citations for misdemeanors like driving while suspended prior. Stop taking people to jail for driving while suspended prior, you tool. That is so laughable. All right, moving on. Number 6. Now, this is where he jumps the freaking shark. Susan Hoon is currently serving and has served as county council for more than 5 years. Susan is able to have tough conversations while staying on track with the facts and not reacting out of emotions. Susan values communication and collaboration. Susan Hoon does not like human beings. I'm not sure that she is a human being. She does not like people. She does not like talking. She does not like giving the citizens the time of day. It's just like Sproles. I'm sure he loves her. I don't know what the deal is between Susan and Sproles, but it is weird and it is creepy. And Susan is just nuts.
Hey, screenshot that shit, Gerald, and hang on to it.
Screenshot that, Gerald.
Screenshot it because you're going to get it. It's going to be removed and it's going to get you blocked.
I will tell you guys that Susan has been telling people that she is running because the sheriff asked her to. Now, she's also lying about it, so I don't know if you'll get the truth from her or not, but we now know that is true, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you why.
Can you make that any larger, Kristopher Alva's asking?
Let me see.
And I'm guessing that she's a yes girl.
The only other way we might be able to... Tell me if this does it. I don't know if this does it. Yes. No, that's actually smaller. No, sorry, Alva.
I'm not blocked from his page. Let me go on there and find it for you, okay? Because I can enlarge the Facebook page.
Okay, if you can do that, that would be fine. Yeah, she'll do that. I'll continue reading while she does that. He goes on to say, number 7, Dave Cantrell has dedicated his professional life to public safety. Dave is a listener and a thinker. Dave is not vindictive. Let me be just honest. We don't need 3 commissioners that are just complete Kool-Aid drinkers of the sheriff. We don't need 3 commissioners who are willing to carry his water at all times, at all hours of the day, doing everything he wants, not telling him no. We do not need that. Henry County cannot do it. Henry County cannot do that. Okay, let me take this off. All right. So number 6. Number 8. I do not know of any. Listen to what he says here. Listen, this guy is such dude. He must have literally just got done licking the windows before he wrote this. Listen to this. All right. This is absolutely comical. I do not know of any Henry County Sheriff's deputy that will not be supporting Susan Hoon or Dave Cantrell for commissioner. Because are you for real? Do you think any of those people would tell you who they're really going to vote for? Listen, number one, you're probably demanding that people vote the way that you want. You'll never truly know because, I don't know, maybe you're asking them to take pictures or whatever. I don't know. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if you work for the Henry County Sheriff's Department and the sheriff is demanding you to vote a certain way, or he's having any conversations that you feel is against law, I'm telling you, do me a favor. Record him, screenshot it, get pictures, get video, make it real. It's got to be real life. He's really got to be doing it. Get it to me, and I will help keep you safe and secret, and we will find out a way to bust him down, and we will turn him in. If he's doing things that are illegal, let me know. We got to get him, because what he's saying here is insane. Why did he? Yeah, that's exactly right. Absolutely. You know, he comes up with those things every other week, new things that they have to sign off on or whatever. So if you can't tell he's an idiot by that comment in number 8, then I question where you are. You know what I mean? This is due to the very clear bias that has been shown against the sheriff's office and our county law enforcement officers. Listen, these people don't have, Bobby and Dellinger do not take issue with the law enforcement officers. They take issue with how Sproles is running the department, and not even everything, just a lot of what he does. You know, there are some, they're willing to work with him on things. It's just he won't, and he doesn't work with anybody. He doesn't allow his deputies to work with the auditor's office. He doesn't work with the clerk's office. He works with no one. Everyone hates him. What time of the day did he post this? Can you, click on that. No, you were there. Wednesday, May 1st at, okay. So right before 8 o'clock, I tell you what we would have to do. I would have to find out what time he went 1041. I could just find out what time he went 1041, and we can find that out real easy. All right, so moving on, number 8. Don't try to make this. Okay. Let's see here. This is due to the very clear bias that's been shown against the sheriff's office and our county law enforcement officers by the current commissioners who are running for re-election. This is a fact, even though one of these commissioners stated in a public meeting, don't try to make this as I don't give a crap about the sheriff's department. I don't even think that's what she said. Like, he's making shit up. Like, and he's just such a goofball. All right, number 9. It is very evident that there is a clear and concerted effort to promote negative conversations and negative media. There's negative media coverage against you, idiot, because you're an idiot. Period.
Negative conversions. Read that again. To promote negative conversions.
Yeah. That's so weird. He's so weird. And negative media coverage against our sheriff's office and employees. while blatantly censoring social media coverage that would shine a light on the many positive events that have been and are continuing to occur on a regular basis in the Henry County Sheriff's Office and jail. Number 10, we need a change in the commissioner's office, and I'm asking you to join me in rallying our friends and family to vote for Dave Cantrell and Susan Hoon soon. Wait a minute. What? Go back. I love how he says Susan Hoon soon. Like, that's just, I've been saying that all day. Susan Hoon soon. Okay, now you can minus that down now. Oh, well, keep that there for a second. So, oops. So go back. Oh, here. All right. So here's the picture. Sheriff John M. Sproles personally endorses Susan Hoon soon and David Cantrell for Henry County Commissioners. Vote Dave Cantrell and Susan Hoon soon. Why does it say that? Vote David Cantrell and Susan Hoon on Tuesday, May 7th. But Susan Hoon soon, that seems nuts. I want to go in and be like, I want to vote for Susan Hoon soon. I'm going to call her that for the rest of forever. Her name is Susan Hoon soon.
It sounds like Mooney and Soon from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yeah. I said earlier, it's like he's made her Vietnamese. Her name Vietnamese. I don't know how I said it. What I say, Vietnamese. Yeah. I keep saying it. Say the real one. Vietnamese.
There you go.
Vietnamese. There it is. Jesus.
Well, Mr. Gerald's comment is still up. You can see it if you take that down.
Yeah.
It's been up a whopping 6 minutes.
Oh, it is.
There it is.
The video from the commissioners' meetings and the council meetings. You are a liar. His actions are the reason we are even here. Yeah, no kidding. Absolutely. So, dude, listen, it's really crazy. If you would write a rebuttal to these 10 points and send them to me, I will post them on his website as they were coming from me. I'm not blocked yet. All right, I'll do that. I'll work on a little thing.
Word.
What?
Yet being the operative word.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he is literally an insane person. And this is. Travis Week is the only one censoring anything. Well, and I'm going to tell you guys, that's what's really crazy. Let me see here. The Courier Times. So a couple people have talked about the fact that picture that you saw there, it's in the newspaper as an ad. He has placed that as an ad in the newspaper. Okay. And that ad that is there it's like so strange. People were asking, like, what's the deal with this? You know, who paid for this? Like, what did he pay for this? Because the disclaimer says paid for by John Sproles. It doesn't say paid for by the committee to elect. It just says paid for by John Sproles. So, like, did they monitor that? Did they write that down, or what are they doing with that? It's really interesting. I am going tomorrow to get a copy of all of the finance. They're all done. They're ready for me. They've been ready for a couple days. Honestly, I've just been so swamped. I have not got down there to pick them up. But I will get them, and we will take a look at them. I also am going to have Catherine on. I think Catherine will be on tomorrow. I was going to have her on tonight, but there was just too much that we had to cover, and I knew that there was going to be no way that I could do it. So yeah, that's the crazy thing going on with Sproles right now. And now, real quick, before we leave this topic, I want to show you guys something that is currently going on, and it just goes to show you who we're dealing with and what's actually occurring with the sheriff and the people that he surrounds himself with, and others, just others in that whole camp. So I posted a picture today and put it on social media. I said, examples of toddlers throwing temper tantrums. Picture 1, female toddler throwing a fit. Picture 2, male toddler throwing a fit. Picture 3, female toddler throwing a fit. Picture 4, male toddler throwing a fit. Picture 5, female toddler throwing a fit. Picture 6, both male and female toddlers throwing fits. More on this tonight, and I did the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's the thing. Okay, well, what happened was some people got in here and started commenting, and they were laughing and making jokes about it, and it was what it was. Well, this guy that comments periodically for Sproles, and he's just an asshole. His name's Larry Thurston. He wrote this. He went in and very creepily went through my pictures. He got this picture of me, and he wrote, "When I grow up, I want to be like Sproles." Wait a minute. What info? Post what info? I'll post whatever you want me to. What info? Let me know which one you want, and I will post whatever. I've posted this link. I'll post whatever you want there, because I want you guys to have it, anything. All right, so he posted this. When I grow up, I want to be like Sproles. And so I thought, yeah, I can have some fun with that. So I went in and wrote, "Hey, Larry Thurston, you know it, Daddy. I too want to be a man-child that can't take when someone tells me no. I want to be the leader of something I know exactly dick all about and cause 155 years of experience to run from the department that I now run. You're right. I want to be just like him." And then I said, this is exactly 100% the Christian type behavior I would expect out of Sproles and his friends. Praise the Lord. And then he posted this picture of me, and it says, "Look who just came out of the closet. You go, big boy." And that's right. That's right, Daddy Thurston. I came out of the closet, all the way out of the closet for you, Daddy Thurston. You know what I mean? Okay. You reject. That's hilarious to me. So I just think that's funny. These people are the people that Sproles surrounds himself with. Those are the kinds of people that he surrounds himself with. And if you're like, yeah, that's what I like. That's the kind of thing I like. Those are Christians. You know what I mean? Laughable. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one more article before we get back to the Muncie City Council stuff. We're really rocking through it. But we've got one more thing covering the Henry County stuff before we leave Sproles alone. See, Sproles is trying to get these people elected because he's having a shit time down there, but he's not focusing on the real serious things that he needs to be focusing on. The real serious things that he needs to be focusing on, like this right here. This is really serious. Prosecutor: charges considered against deputy involved in chase that led to fatal crash. All right. Now listen to me. Before we read this, I want to tell you, I feel sorry for the deputy. There are parts of me that feel sorry for the deputy, and I'm going to tell you why. When you're a young deputy, all right, when you are an inexperienced deputy and an inexperienced police officer, you are going to make mistakes. And that is why it is massively important that you have good field training officers and others around you that can help pull you back in line. Because there are some mistakes that you can make as a deputy, as a police officer, as law enforcement, whatever, that are okay. And there are some mistakes that are like, wait a minute, that mistake, you can't make that mistake. If you make that mistake, you got to go. All right. There is a reason. There is a reason why when you're in a pursuit, and it doesn't matter if you've been on the road, it doesn't matter if you've been back from the academy for a year, it doesn't matter if you're a 10-year veteran, it doesn't matter if you have 30 years on. When you get into a pursuit, when you get into a foot pursuit, when you're in a firefight, when there are things going on, firefight meaning you're shooting back and forth at each other and bullets are flying at you, there's a thing that happens in human nature. That's why training is important, because you survive how you train and you die how you train. Training is important. You survive how you train and you die how you train. If you don't train and you train weak-ass things, you're going to die. If you train and train and train and train, when you have things that happen where your brain shuts off and your lizard brain kicks in and your higher functioning's gone, your training kicks in, your muscle memory kicks in. Well, everybody, 1 year old cop, 10-year veteran, when they get into a pursuit, the world closes down real small. They get tunnel vision and they get adrenaline. That's why you have the second car behind you making the radio calls. Because when the pursuit gets too serious, that second car says, hey, we're going to cut it, shut her down. And it doesn't matter what the driver says. As soon as he hears that, he does it. That's why there are older officers that are monitoring that, and they might not be in the pursuit, but as soon as they hear excess speeds of 90 miles an hour in heavy traffic, they say, all right, cut it down. He was screwed over big time by his department. And this came from Sproles down. That's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, that Sproles is dangerous. Sproles has a culture of craziness at the sheriff's department in Henry County right now, and it's not good for the deputies or for the citizens that they come in contact with. Okay? That's important. I want you to know that. That being said, while I can point a lot of blame to a lot of other people, the deputy does wear some blame. Okay? So now at the bottom line is it's going to come down. The reports are going to be forwarded to the Delaware County prosecutor, Eric Hoffman, and Eric Hoffman and his team are going to look at it and they're going to charge the case as it needs to be charged. The bad guy in the car, he's already charged. He's got maybe more charges coming. If the cop did something wrong, he's going to be charged. That's the way I look at it. All right? On with the story. Delaware County Prosecutor Eric Hoffman said Tuesday he would not rule out filing charges against Henry County Sheriff's deputy involved in a recent chase that ended with a fatal crash at one of Muncie's busiest intersections. On April 18th, a car driven by Muncie resident Zachary Antrim, 28, was being pursued by the Henry County deputy Tanner Strelecki when it collided with another vehicle at McGalliard Road and Tillotson Avenue. A passenger in Antrum's car, Nicholas Wayne Wollums, 25, also of Muncie, was killed in the crash. The driver of the other vehicle, Shanta Sherrill, whatever the hell the last name is, a 38-year-old Muncie resident, was seriously injured. Antrim, also hurt in the collision on April 21st, was transferred from IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital to the Delaware County Jail. On Monday, Antrim was formally charged in the Delaware County Circuit 1 with resisting law enforcement resulting in death, resisting law enforcement with serious bodily injury, criminal recklessness, unlawful carrying of a handgun, resisting law enforcement, and 2 counts of reckless driving. The most serious of those charges is a level 3 felony carrying up to 16 years in prison, and an initial hearing in the case is set for May 8th. On Tuesday, Hoffman said he would absolutely look into whether Tanner Strzelecki, the Henry County deputy who pursued Antrim into Delaware County and through Muncie, broke any criminal laws. I have not received the Indiana State Police investigation yet, Hoffman said. However, I'm very concerned about the way this chase was handled. Hoffman said his inquiry would be twofold. I will look at whether the officer and the person he chased have any criminal liability, and if so, what criminal statutes were violated, he said. According to the affidavits prepared by the Muncie Police and the Indiana State Police, Antrim, driving a Dodge Dart, drew the attention of Strzelecki, who was off duty about 6 a.m. April 18th, as they both traveled in the northbound lane of Indiana 3 in northern Henry County. Strzelecki, who had just completed a work shift and was on his way home, was in full uniform driving his marked police car when he saw Antrim commit traffic violations that led him to believe the driver might be impaired, the document said. The deputy tried to stop the Dart near the Henry County-Delaware County line, and by that he means into Delaware County, because we heard him say that, but the chase ensued, eventually reaching Muncie on city streets at speeds in excess of 70 to 100 miles an hour per hour from the south side of Muncie through downtown to the west side of Muncie, before traveling up to the northwest side and eventually turning east on McGalliard Road, according to the ISP report. The crash, about 6:15 a.m., took place at Delaware County intersection with Tillotson when Antrim swerved into the left turn lane to go around vehicles stopped at the light. Hoffman said after he reviews the ISP investigation, it is possible additional charges could be filed against Antrim and or the deputy Strzelecki. Now, I want to tell you guys something here. I have heard since this article came out that Henry County Sheriff John Sproles has been bad-mouthing Eric Hoffman. And I can tell him there's probably no other deputy prosecutor that is more law enforcement friendly and welcoming to the law enforcement community. Listen, it's hard to understand this. The prosecutor of each given county is the chief law enforcement officer of that county. They are a law enforcement member. That said, their goal is to not always just side with the police. Sometimes their goal is to decide if a crime happened or if it didn't happen, yada, yada, yada. In this case, however, I will say that, number one, Eric is a damn good prosecutor. He will not go wrong with this. What he does, I will back. If Sproles thinks picking a fight with Eric Hoffman is a good way for him to spend his time, that guy is dumber than what I would have initially thought. Because Eric will wipe the floor with Sproles. period. So I will put this message out there for Sproles. I've heard that you've been saying a bunch of shit. I'm just telling you right now, the best bet is for you guys to stop and to take this serious. Okay? Just a little bit of unsolicited advice. Take it or leave it. When I get all of that information, I will release it to you guys. And if or when I hear of charging information, I will release that as well. The only other thing I want to say about this temper tantrum spot is when you get elected officials or candidates that are throwing temper tantrums, ladies and gentlemen, you need to act like we do as parents with children. You don't reward them for the temper tantrum. You punish them. You remove them from the scenario. And you deal with it like that. You don't say, oh, we're going to give you another term in office. Oh, it's okay. Just do whatever you want to do. No. When you have people like Sproles causing the scene that Sproles is causing, you as the collective body of Henry County, you need to put him in a timeout. And I'm being very serious about that. All right. From there, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going back to the city of Muncie. We're almost done. Hang with me. I know this has been a big show, and we've been bang, 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 but this is a good show. We've been taking things down. We've been talking about very serious topics here. Going back to the city of Muncie, I want you guys to take a look here as we will now move into the Muncie Board of Works meeting from earlier today. Today, obviously, is Wednesday, the 1st of May, and there was a Board of Works meeting. The meeting is just 11 minutes long, and we're going to try to speed this along a little bit and get you only what is needed.
The Pledge of Allegiance. This is for all. Present with the minutes from the April 24th meeting. If we could have a motion to approve. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed.
Here we go.
Sent out the claims yesterday morning. Got them out a little early. And really nothing out of the unusual. Usual healthcare and payments. We did have a payment to Fredericks from the ARP for the Crisis Center for work being.
A payment to Fredericks for the ARP, from the ARP for the Crisis Center. All right, for how much?
Done. And crew construction from local road and street. That was for Muncie Sign Warehouse steel doors. And with that, I'll just open it up to any questions you might have.
Okay, Linda.
I have none.
Well,
I have no questions today.
Okay. I have none at this time either. We have a motion to approve the minutes, or excuse me, the claims as presented.
I move approval of the claims for $1,207,942. Second.
Okay. Do you have any comments or questions? Having none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Thank you very much, Craig. We have unfinished business street closure application from 4 Everlasting LLC. Is anybody there here representing that? Okay, we're going to table that. Is that all right? We probably should. We got time. Okay.
Were they notified?
I did speak to someone that said they would let them know that
Okay.
it was tabled last week.
Okay.
So I'll reach out.
Or if we have an email address for them, that's something we don't require on our application. It might not be a bad idea.
We got plenty of time.
Or you could probably text them because it looks like it's a cell number.
I'll reach out to them.
Thank you. We have some new business street closer application for the Bloom Downtown, Cal's Barbecue and Catering.
Clayton again.
Name, please.
Clayton Lindsay.
Okay, thank you for the record. And what would you like to do again?
We want to block the alley off behind the Bloom so we can barbecue back there.
Okay. How's that been going for you?
Been going well. We ain't had no complaints. We almost through with the 2-month trial, so hopefully we'll get this done and won't have to do this no more.
Good. That was
Yeah.
going to be my question.
Yes, it's about over.
Good.
So it's been received well by
Yes.
the community. Okay, great.
Everything's been going really well.
And sometimes you got to think of new ways to do things, don't you?
Yeah. Oh
right.
yeah.
True that.
I figured it'd
move
be
approval.
someone complaining down there with all the smoke, but no complaints. Everybody
Good.
been pretty good.
I move approval of the street closure application.
I'll second.
Okay, any comments or questions? Anybody? Okay, after that, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Lindsay, you'll have, Lacey will have your paperwork done just as soon as the meeting's over. Courtney Walker with the Building Commissioner's Office, presenting demolition quotes for 9 properties.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'll just read each property and each contractor's bid.
Okay, that'd be
Okay.
great.
1320 East 9th Street. Newsome's was $10,800. Fredericks was $8,883. Schroyer Solutions was $6,341. Steve Schroyer Excavating was $4,985. J.A. Schroyer was $5,365. Stein Building Solutions was $7,850. Rescue Demolition was $14,300.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Does she need to read all of those since we've already had them originally? Can she just list what the top, where they want to award the bid?
Sure.
That's up to you guys.
That might have been one that I missed too.
So
Yeah,
listen,
I mean,
to this.
when we opened the bids, we would have read all of these.
Okay. Very good point. Thank you, Linda. Are you giving a recommendation today to who to award these to?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we go that route? Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
So just-
I appreciate it.
So just read the address and the
Lowest bid.
bid award and for how much.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Sorry.
So I'll start at 1320 East 9th Street. Steve Schroyer Excavating with $4,985.
Okay.
1616 West 13th. Stein Building Solution, $6,850. 2401 South Jefferson. Was Steve Schroyer Excavating for $5,800. That one is on a 60-day hold because since we've sent out these bids, the owner has provided us with a contractor that they've hired to make the repairs. So we're giving them time to make that. But we still wanted to award the bid just in case they didn't follow through.
Okay.
2315 North Wolf, that was pulled since the hired a contractor at $6,160. 2216 South Garkey. This is for the house in the back of the property. There are 2 houses on the property, but this is the one for the back. And that is for Schroyer Solutions, $2,642. 2317 South Ebright. Schroyer Solutions, $6,113. And then 1908 South High Street for Schroyer Solutions, $6,800.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any, do we have a motion to approve these contracts?
I move approval of the 9 property contract, demolition contracts to be awarded as stated.
Second.
Okay. And I think, are there 9 or 8?
It says 9 on the
9.
agenda.
It's like they don't know what
Aye.
they're doing.
All opposed?
Administrative Services. Alan has been a planner in community development since March 2023, and his last day in the office will be May 3rd, 2024. This agreement will allow Alan to keep working on projects that he's been working on while we hire. And Alan has been a
And then we have a consideration of a consulting contract. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Stephanie Hutchison, Community Development. This is a consulting agreement with Alan Wisely to provide administrative services. Alan has been a planner in community development since March
Listen to this.
2023, and his last day in the office will be May 3rd, 2024. This agreement will allow Alan to keep working on projects that he's been working on while we hire and train a replacement. Alan will also assist in training the new employee, and we anticipate that the new employee will begin working by the end of May. Alan is also the only person in our office certified to complete Inspire inspections and lead-based paint inspections. Under this agreement, Alan will continue to perform these inspections until someone else in the office is able to complete these certifications. This is anticipated to be done during the month of May.
So listen to this. This is reason I'm playing you this is Alan Wisely. He's gonna be leaving, whatever. They want to keep him around for a little bit longer till they fill a spot. No harm, no foul. But this is how you take a contract before the Board of Works and create business with them. This should have happened with Greenlight Resources. It did not. I just wanted you guys to witness the way that it should.
Hourly rate of the contracted services is
$35 an hour, which will be billed in
$35
15-minute
an hour.
increments.
That's nuts.
So in the document where it says $35 an hour, afterwards it says $30 and no cents. So that may need to be adjusted.
Yeah.
Aye.
all opposed. Thank you. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any other comments or questions or other business related to the Board of Works to be brought forth today? Okay, having none, thank you for attending. Meeting adjourned.
All right, so that was that. A pretty standard Board of Works. The big thing there to take away is Fredericks, the Crisis Center. How much money have they paid? I've got a record request into them. We'll find out. But we're getting up there with lots of money being spent on the Crisis Center. We are quickly approaching the $600,000 amount, and I believe that we're going to blow way past it, folks. Just FYI there. All right. From there, I want to take you to the to Dan's.
Today is May 1st. It's a beautiful day. I think it's going to hit 80. It does appear we've almost gone straight from winter to summer.
One cares.
Enjoy it, get a little bit of the sun, some of those vitamin Ds that you can get, and
vitamin Ds,
and have some fun. A couple of things I just want to give updates on. We did get the skate park bids have been accepted, and Pride Mark, a local company, will begin work by the middle of May. So you're going to see some construction happening. This is in Westside Park. And it's the area between the basketball courts and Tillotson. That's where the skate park is going to be, but that's all ready to go. They're finishing up the permitting, but I think everything's looking good for them to have a start date sometime in mid-May, so this month. Josh Talby has been appointed the animal shelter director, and he's been out there now for a couple of days, and things are going very, very well, and we will provide him with what he needs to make that successful. So we appreciate all the employees out there, and we appreciate his efforts going forward, and we're here to help. So AEP continues to work on Tillotson. They will continue to move northward. They're replacing the utility lines. They're putting them underground so they won't be above ground. Replacing those lines, and as they do it, they'll put a temporary road structure down. When it's all finished, the whole stretch is finished, then it will get paved, because it's too expensive to mobilize the crew, do a couple blocks for paving. So they'll do all of their utility work first, then they'll come back and pave it. But just be aware that there's some traffic challenges, there's some lane movements, and it's down to one lane each direction on certain sections as they continue to do that utility work, and that will end up getting the northbound lanes on Tillotson paved this year. Milling has also began by the city crew on both Pershing and Vine. So both of those were done yesterday. This is the first project of the year for this particular crew. Once they have these milled out, I think there might be a third one they're milling out, and then they will do all the paving at one time. So that kind of work has begun. So much of it is weather dependent, and the paving plant doesn't like to open up until the weather looks like it's going to be conducive to selling the pavement to the various cities and counties that buy them across the East Central Indiana. So we're in that, hopefully we're in that season now. So they've opened up, so we'll be getting those paved here shortly. And then we'll continue to work on that. We announced yesterday that the Crisis Center, we've brought on an additional partner. So we've been working with IU Health on the design
I want you
today.
to
And then so we're in that, hopefully we're in that season now. So those paved here shortly. And then we'll continue to work on that. We announced yesterday that the Crisis Center, we've brought on an additional partner. So we've been working with IU Health on the design and the purpose of the Crisis Center, which is to help people who have addiction problems and or mental health issues. The whole purpose of the Crisis Center is to get people out of crisis so that they don't hurt themselves and they don't hurt others. And we get them to the proper treatments that they might need to get out of their particular situation.
Like
so it's to get people out of crisis, but we brought on another partner, and that's going to be Meridian. They are, quite frankly, one of the main leaders in our area and much of Indiana for mental health services. They're going to help staff the Crisis Center going forward. So we appreciate this collaboration with IU Health, City of Muncie, and Meridian Health on the Crisis Center. So that's moving forward. Prairie Creek has some really good news. We received.
Notice how he just completely glosses over any of the bad news.
Another trail grant. So we received $266,000. I received the email yesterday. This will extend the trail all the way down to the beach house. So what we're looking at doing is we're trying to get it so that it connects to the Cardinal Greenway and then all the way around the lake. So this continues another section. Now this will be a 9-foot wide trail. It will be 100% ADA compliant. It will include some additional parking and send some good signage. So we appreciate the efforts of those who helped us get this particular grant, and work will begin on that as soon as everything is put together. So, but we got $266,000 for that particular grant. So we're very excited about that, what that can mean for Prairie Creek. And then May is Historic Preservation Month. So the month of May, there are festivities tonight at Cornerstone to kind of kick those off at 6:30 if somebody wants to attend. And during the month, there'll be several different events that will highlight various neighborhoods across our city that have historic districts. And we look forward to having some of those events and highlighting the history and the homes and some of the other buildings that are in Muncie with that historic nature. So we're excited about Historic Preservation Month and look forward to their events. So I think that's it for today. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Amazing. He said nothing about Dustin and what they've been facing. Now, I do know for a fact, ladies and gentlemen, that there is a Muncie City Council executive meeting. A Muncie City Council executive meeting that is currently in the works for what is currently going on, and I'm waiting to see what happens there. Annie, that's a good point. I also thought that IU was going to be staffing the Crisis Center. So something has happened. Something has changed. And will we ever know what it was? Hell no, because it's Dan Ridenhour. And Dan does not speak to us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the last thing that we're going to cover tonight. I know it's been a long night. We've covered a lot of topics. We needed to cover these topics to get through them. The last topic is this. What you're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen, is a Muncie Environmental Impact Committee. What's that? What is the Muncie Environmental Impact Committee? Well, it is a committee that is made up of 3 council members on the Muncie City Council. I was sitting here this evening writing out the script for tonight's show, and someone sent me a link, and I click on the link, and it said live now, and I clicked on it, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the city of Muncie. And I click, and it's this meeting. All right. Now, we're not going to watch all of this in here because it's an hour and 33 minutes long, but I will tell you that I was shocked. It says Environmental Impact Committee meeting. Now, let me tell you, this is now the second meeting that the Muncie City Council has held that I did not know anything about. I was not aware of this. I had not heard of this. I had no clue that they were looking at anything. And it's frustrating. I'm going to tell you why it's frustrating. Because the Muncie City Council, anytime they do anything like this, any committee in the city of Muncie, here's what they have to do. They have to call the meeting 48 hours in advance, and they need to post it on the outside building there at City Hall. They need to attempt to notify the media, and Lacey from the clerk's office is really good at her job. She does all of that. But let me be very clear. That's just the bare minimum. That's the floor, not the ceiling. It's just good enough. It's not good enough for me. Okay? Is that meeting on Facebook or Muncie Gov page? It is not on the Muncie government page. It is on the City of Muncie Facebook page. Here is my problem with this. Yes, we're going in a right direction because, thank God, at least they live streamed it. So I wasn't able to be there because I didn't know anything about it, but at least I'm able to watch it now. Okay? Fantastic. However, I left a comment and I also sent an email to all in charge. I sent it to the mayor, to the deputy mayor, to the communications director, and to all 9 council members. And I said, well, tonight's meeting was a step in the right direction with it being live streamed finally. But moving forward, I am wondering if the city administration could maybe start posting the notices of these things on the Muncie City Council Facebook page. Now, listen, I know the city council and the administration are 2 different entities. You have the council and you have the administration. But there is no damn reason that the city of Muncie cannot update this stuff and post this. Look, folks, we can go back and look. Look, I'm going to take you back. Are we on here? We're on here. Look, there's nothing about this being posted on the city's Facebook page. Nothing. There's no post. There's no posting. There's nothing that shows when the meeting. Doesn't show the agenda. There is no reason that they could not go and post right here the posting. Hey, next week we're going to have an environmental impact meeting. That would be a good thing that they did, a good service. It would be a way to show that Dan does truly believe in trying to improve communication and transparency. All right. Now, I understand there are people that are showing that they put it in the newspaper, whatever. Well, listen, not everybody gets the newspaper. The newspaper in the city of Muncie is junk. The only other way that you would know about this is if you literally got in your car every day and you drove to City Hall every day. Listen, my finger is on the pulse of everything that goes on in Muncie. Dan Ridenauer doesn't walk down to the bathroom and pee without me knowing about it. I know everything that happens in City Hall. But the fact that these meetings are happening and I'm not finding out about them, number one, I think it's a concerted effort to make sure that that happens. The council members are being quiet and they're not doing their jobs. Listen, the counselors are counselors, the representatives of the people and the public. Every single one of the 9 Muncie City councilors should have a Facebook page. Okay? Let's go and look at one of these pages. Oh, did I lose you? Hold on here. Let me pull the way back up. All right. Here's Nora Powell's page. District 2 counselor. All right. Here is her post from April 5th. All right. That's way far back. All right. Let's look and see if there's anything about this meeting on her page. Here's community crossings. Here's proclamation of Child Abuse Month. Here's the High Street Dam meeting. Update, huge pothole. Guthrie Park. Go MCHS. $1.5 million from the Community Crossings Grant to be matched by the City of Muncie for local roads and bridges. $25 adoptions are a win-win. What is this? Am I blocked from the Muncie City animal page? I better not be. If so, Josh Talby has some serious. I'm gonna go out there tomorrow and talk to Josh Talby and find out just what the fucking problem is. Okay. Here's this. This is 17th. Here's the thing about the crash. Here's Muncie Central State Champs. Here's about Tillage and Project update. Here's the thing about Julie Snyder. Here's the thing about ditching colleges for trade schools. Yeah, nothing. Find yourself free this evening. MSD workshop at Mad Jack's. Union Chapel free medical and dental clinic. May 1st, Thursday. Come downtown, support local artists and vendors. Avoid this area of Morrison near University until further notice. National Parks Day. And there's the end of it. All right. So I will applaud her for having a page. I think that there are only out of 9 counselors, there are only 3 counselors that have actual pages like this. Nora Powell for Muncie City Council. Now, really, she should change this over and make this no longer a candidate page. She should make this Muncie City Councilor District 2 Nora Powell. And this should be her public page for her position as city councilor. All 9 counselors should have a page like this. And all 9 counselors should utilize that to post when they're going to have council meetings, what the agenda of the meeting is, when they're going to have committee meetings, what time they are, if they're open to the public. If you have any questions, message me here. Do you have any thoughts or comments? They should be doing more than they're doing, and it's piss poor, and I'm getting tired of it. So, yeah, I'm happy that the city of Muncie, they finally got off their asses, either the city council or the city of Muncie or Endpoint Creative or whoever in the hell finally decided to do their damn job. I'm but I'm irate that I wasn't there in the audience, that I didn't know what this topic was. I've not even heard of this. All right? These people are acting, this council sucks. These council's members suck. And that's true. The communications director is busy with other things, it sounds like. But that only talks about the administration. The council members don't have a communications director. They need to be doing more. They can post on the city's page. They need to be posting on theirs. You know what they could do? You want to know something they could do? Here's a grand idea. They could find out that there's hey, we're having a committee meeting on Wednesday. They could pick up their phone. They could take their grubby little fingers, boop, 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 and my phone could ring. And I could say hello. And Jeff Green could say, hey, Bilbrey, it's Jeff Green, District 1. We have a meeting this coming Wednesday. Just want to let you know. Put that out there for your listeners. Okay, thanks. I hang up. Brandon Garrett could call me and say, hey, we have a meeting. Jerry Dishman could call me. Hell, listen, I'm going to be honest. Nora Powell, call me. Tell me. I'll put it out there. Yeah, that's what I mean, Annie. Yeah, they don't have access to post, but they're council members. You know what they could do? They could ask the city to post it. And then, look, it's on the city to do it. If they don't, then that council member needs to tell the public, listen, I tried to get them to post it and they wouldn't. Then I could go after the city for that. But right now, I got to go after the council just as hard as the city because neither one of them are doing their damn job. You know what happened? You know how everybody was aware of all of these meetings that took place under the last council for the last 4 years? 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, sometimes 8 different council members would text me, email me, call me, and notify me. And I would post it on Facebook. I would post it on all the Muncie groups. I would put it on my show. I put it everywhere because they were willing to communicate. Yeah, EJAC, their email's still down. Yeah, they still can't get their iPad to work. You know what? To hell with that. Brandon Garrett, you need to do better. Start picking up your phone and calling me. I should be hearing from these people several times a month. I haven't talked to one of these people. I've talked to 2 or 3 council members 2 or 3 times since the beginning of this year. We're already 6 months into the year almost, man. Honestly, the city clerk should be posting it on the city Facebook page. You know what? That would be fantastic. Yeah, she doesn't do a damn thing either. That would be fantastic.
I'm sorry. We're almost 6 months into the year and the email still isn't working.
Yep.
You either need to be getting on your IT company's ass, you pay them to fix this stuff for you. Or, barring that, it's called Gmail. It's free. And tell them, change my email. I need to be able to get this stuff. I'm using a Gmail account because the cities want his shit. Quit paying everybody.
Yeah, dude, it's not that hard. You can't be like, listen, dude. I'm not trying to crack on Gaston for a moment. I have fully functional email as a citizen. I can be reached 24. I know, yeah, right. Listen for real. I'm not gonna crack on I don't mean to crack on Gaston hard, but it's not like we're talking about Gaston here. These people are council members of what's supposed to be a pretty big, prestigious city. It's
crap.
And their email hasn't worked 6 fucking months.
You froze there for a bit.
What cut out?
You cut out right after you were saying this is supposed to be a big prestigious city. This is, and then it
like the 13th city, the 13th biggest city in the state. You know, are we supposed to believe that we don't actually have emails for 6 months? That is not. You know, just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. So that's it, folks. Listen, go back and watch this meeting because I can tell you there's a couple things that I'm not happy with. All right. I'll let you know. We'll just watch this for a minute. Watch Sarah Gullion here. Okay. Let's just watch this for a second.
I'm going to call the Environmental Impact Committee meeting to order right now. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ro, you want to start it? Thank you.
Like, does she seem like she don't want to be there or kind of like lackadaisical? Watch her and watch how hard her hand thumps against her chest. She's like, we'll start with watch this. Watch her.
There's thumbs up. Okay. I'm going to call the Environmental Impact Committee meeting to order right now. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ro, you want to start it? Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Jones, can we take roll call?
Ms. Selby,
Present.
Mr. Garrett,
Present.
Chair Gullion.
Present. Okay. All right, and as you all know, that we are here, our topic of discussion tonight is Ordinance 624, an ordinance to restrict the use of groundwater in certain areas. And I just want to start off saying that this is, basically an information gathering meeting. We just want to keep to the facts, and at the end of this, the committee may choose to make a recommendation for or against, but we may just have a report to the council. And I've got sort of an order of what I think might make the most sense. First of all, we've got a representative of the former owner who's handling the environmental consultant for them. We also have the current representative of the current owner. We have the project manager of the site from ITEM is on the phone. She's attending, Crystal Halter. And then we'll open it up to public comments. So first I'd ask.
And so they have a couple different people commenting. And
it's nice.
And Ro takes over and Ro asks a bunch of
trying to do is reimagine this area.
Nora's
what
in the
makes
audience.
the most sense, for this area, given the circumstances here, and say, yes.
Could you explain that to the public? What
Sure,
that means?
sure.
That does limit your abilities in terms of what kind of active investigations would be effective. So that's all I had. If anyone has any questions for me.
And the other thing would be just, why would we not want them to clean it up better? Again,
with Mike at the Common Market and around the other properties. So I just want to kind of speak on the whole precedent thing again, because this is not the only sites or parcels that we have in this city that are in this situation. So if we rush into an ERO or an ERC, again, are we just going to be able to open the door to not simply this insurance company, but others to use the same tactics to say, you know, it's the current owners now, they knew what they were getting into, right? But these are the guys who knew what they were getting into, and they were the insurance companies for the previous owners, or however.
Ounce of dereliction and blight in cities like Muncie, in cities like Portland, next to where I grew up, in cities like Detroit and Fort Wayne, Evansville, all over the place, because nobody would touch these sites because, one, there was no liability structure to it, meaning everyone was liable for it. Whoever touched that property was liable for it. The other aspect of it was you can't clean up some of these solvents 100%. It's not feasible. It's not possible in a lot of situations. It's just not. And it's not necessarily about the fiscal nature of it and strictly about finances. But in the instance of my client, who again is just defending himself here, just because it's efficient doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong. If the only exposure pathway is potential consumption of groundwater and
Get that addressed again.
Moving too quickly to implement that action party to achieve the affinity pool or technical representation.
Linchpin for all, whether it be residential or whether it be commercial or whatever, you've got to be able to get closure on the water issue, and that's what this ERO would do. There's still work to be done, and we appreciate the neighbors and their concerns, and a lot of work has been done, a lot of work will be done, but you got to start somewhere, and according to IDAM, and I would trust IDAM, because they're the ones
stated, these compounds don't break down the property. Looking at this in a vacuum of these media, being completely separate is not an accurate technical representation, in my opinion, of how these systems work. Yes, you can mitigate vapor in homes. And, you know, given the choice, all things being equal, and you can buy a home that doesn't have a vapor mitigation system and a home that does, most people are going to choose. And again, you know, the environmental law is a little different than the analogy.
Damn it.
My question.
Okay.
Thank you.
a irrigation system. So I believe the county ordinance is strictly about.
All right. So go through this and watch this. There's a part on here where Roe really starts going after one of the guys. I have not had a chance to watch all of this. This is something that people need to watch. I only was made aware of this at 8:30 this evening and only got to watch the first 10 minutes. So this is something that's of big importance. But again, it's an hour and a half long meeting, and I only knew of like just a very few minutes or of no one in there. There's no one in here. As you can see, there's no citizens here. So there's only like a handful of council members here and a couple of attorneys from both sides. The city council and the Muncie city government need to do better about making the citizens aware of when these things are. Having Lacey go and put notice up at the door at City Hall 48 hours in advance and having them notify the Star Press, while it might satisfy the legal aspect, it is not good enough, Dan. It is not good enough, Jerry. It is not good enough, Jeff and Nora and Brandon and whoever else, Roe and Harold, and all of the rest of you, listen to me. Meet the public where they are. Start putting this shit out the way that you need to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Hey, this has been a very long show. We have covered a lot of good information. I am going to go through as soon as we're done, and I'm going to put the tag times in here of where we talk about specific issues so you can help. That will be another way to help people find what they want to look for. I laid out the agenda for everybody. Again, tonight's topics were just a brief update of Greenlight Resources, the Star Press article on the Delaware County redevelopment mailer, the Sproles temper tantrum nonsense, and then the City of Muncie Board of Works mayor's update, and then this environmental meeting. If you are interested in taking a look at this environmental meeting, you can find it on the City of Muncie's Facebook page. I will also share it on my social media so you guys can find it. I was going to go through and record it and put it through on YouTube, but I don't see any reason to do that because you should be able to access that off of the Facebook account because it should be open to the public. So, all right. Thank you guys very much for watching this. Please share this show if you haven't already to those that need to know about it. That really is a good way of helping us out. If you have not already went through and hit the like button, I would ask that you do that before you leave. If you are not a subscriber to the channel, do that. It's free. And then we will see you back here. Tomorrow's Friday. I have not talked to Catherine. I think we're going to try to have Catherine on tomorrow. Election day is Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Okay. Tomorrow's Thursday. So we have one more day before the show. I don't know if Catherine will be on tomorrow. We are here tomorrow at 9, like scheduled. We'll either have Catherine on tomorrow or we'll have her on Friday, one of the 2 days. So you guys be looking out for that. And I will also have the Greenlight information when we have information available. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care. God bless. Have a good evening. And we will see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad.
What the hell?